Hey, okay, so I'm going to help you out with some stuff today, and we're going to go back to this worksheet. On here, the one that looks that says matching linear equations, and we're going to go over how to solve this. All you need to do today is that we're going to go every single problem, you're going to go through it, and then once you're done, you get to chill. Make sure you have this paper out on your desk, and you have a calculator. If it doesn't turn on, just grab another calculator. If it does turn on, then well, you're good to go. So you're just going to need this, and something to write on. Now the sub is going to collect it in the end of the class today, so you're going to need it to make sure you get it done. Alright, so let's begin.
Hey, they kind of messed up on your dinner tray, so they're going to bring you up another one, okay?
I'm recording a lesson for my students. It's okay. Alright, so step one, after you go to new document, you're going to type in the equation on your calculator, and it's going to look like so. So you're going to type in negative 4x plus 16. You're going to use the white negative, not the black negative, and it should look like this. After you are done pressing this button, you're going to press enter. Alright, when you press enter, you should get a small graph like this. It should look like this on your screen, which makes sense because it's a negative slope. It's going down, and we're going to see what it looks like on the table. Now we're going to move on to step 3. Alright, so now you're going to try to get a table. So how you're going to do that on your calculator is once it looks like a graph, you're going to press Control T. Control is a yellow button and T is on the bottom, and it's going to look just like this table. Now, on these values, if it doesn't work, then try to ask your partner next to you, but you should see the screen on the board. So now we're going to look at our answer choices. For letter A, when x is negative 5, is negative 5.5. We don't see that, so we're going to move. Okay, so now we're going to go through these. Now, I see a negative 4 on here, and I see a 16. So I know my slope is negative 4, and I know my y-intercept is 16. So how am I going to be able to identify what graph is going to hit? So looking at my tables, if I see that there is a 4, 0 on my calculator. What this means is that right here where there's a 4, 0, that is my x-intercept. So I'm going to look at my answer key, and on F, it says x-intercept 4, 0. So my answer for number 1 is F. So now we're going to move on to number 4. Okay, so for this problem, we do not have it solved for y. So in order for it to solve for y, we need to move the x to your side. So let me show that on screen. So I have 3x minus 6y equals 18. We are doing number 4. Okay, so in order for me to solve for y, I'm going to take this equation and I'm going to put a line in the middle, just like we do all the time. So let's take this and put a line right here. Okay, so I want to move 3x to the other side. The opposite of 3x is negative, so I'm going to put negative 3x on the left and negative 3x on the right. This is canceled out. So now what I have left over is negative 6y equals negative 3x plus 18. I'm going to give you a moment to write this down. You need to write this down in your worksheet. If you don't have room in the front, you're going to write it on the back. I am going to check if you write all this work. Okay. So I'm going to give you a moment. Press the pause button, and I'll let you copy it down. Okay, so now we're going to keep going. So we got the negative 6. That is my coefficient. So in order to get rid of that negative 6, we're going to divide. So I'm going to divide both sides. I'm going to divide, divide, divide. So now my new equation should be, if you use your calculator, y equals 1/2 x minus 3. Okay, so my slope here is 1/2 because it's the number in front of x, and my y-intercept is -3. So in your calculator, this is the equation we're going to write. So on your paper, make sure you write down that y equals 1/2 x minus 3. Press pause if you need more time, and then move on to next. Okay, so now we're going to type in the calculator and the equation. And this is what's going to look like in your Inspire. If you forget how to put a fraction, you're going to press Control Division. If you forget what minus symbol you use, this case you're going to use the black minus because we're subtracting. So after you type that in and you press Enter, then you're going to get the graph. And this is exactly what the graph looks like. If the graph does not look like that, you did something wrong, and I would suggest you to start from the beginning. It's a positive slope, so it's going the right direction, and it's hitting the y-axis at -3 because of that number, so we know we're good to go. So now we're going to go to our table. Okay, so when you look at your table, it gives you when 0 is -3, 1 is -2.5, and etc. Now if you look at your answer choices, you don't see any of those answer choices. So what we need to do is that we need to manipulate the table. How you're going to do that is you're going to press the up and down button. Okay, so in my case, I'm going to go up and see what numbers it gives me. So I'm going to show you what I do. You're going to press the up button about 4 times, and you're going to see this on your screen. Okay, so when you move it up on the screen, you're going to get all these values on here. You should get -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. Alright, so when I get -1, I get a -3.5. If I get -2, I get -4. Well, hold up. If I look at my table on A, those are my answer choices. So the answer for number 4 is A. Alright, I only got one more example, and then you're on your own in the worksheet. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do number 5, and I'm going to show you how to do number 10, and then I'll let you work on it. So for number 5, we have y equals 6. So that means that in your calculator, okay, it either means that on your table it's repeating 6 or it looks like that. So if you look at your answer choices, you should see where it says f1 of x equals 6. That is D, so your answer for number 5 is D, and we're done. Lastly, the next one is number 10. We have y equals -3. So if you graph that in your calculator, you're going to put y, you're just going to put -3 in your equation, and then you're going to get a table. And when you get your table, you get for your x and y values, you should see one that's obviously the -3, and then find your answer choices. Alright, so good luck on the assignment. Try your best. I'll go through it more when I come back, but please try your best on this, and I'll help you when I come back. Alright, bye.